Okay, so America's critical infrastructure is under attack right now, and we need to prepare. If you told me this, I don't know, maybe just a few years ago, 2019, 2020, 2021, I really wouldn't have even given you the time of day. But here in 2024, and of course, as we're seeing, as we're being pulled into multiple different conflicts, like, the likes of China, we got Russia, we got Iran, and many other groups that generally don't really care too much for our leadership, then I'd be a little bit more inclined to believe you guys. Now, you have to guess which one of them are actually trying to gain access to our infrastructure here at home. But the truth is that probably all of them are probably trying to do their homework regarding this, and they're probably just waiting for the right time to strike. Now, gotta wonder, just how big of an impact will this actually have on the American people? Well, I want to show you guys something. Take a look at this.
We talked about this a lot during the last election back in 2020. We talked about it in 2016. How has the threat evolved going into 2024?
It goes back even longer than that. Foreign adversaries have been targeting our election process for many years, trying to disrupt the democracy, trying to create chaos and sow division in the U.S. populace. And when we look at what they're doing now, there are multiple nation states that are engaged in this type of activity. It's a big concern going into 2024.
How organized is it? I mean, are we thinking about some guy in his mother's basement in a hoodie, or are we thinking about, foreign actors orchestrated by governments?
It's both, but I think the biggest threat, of course, is nation states who have incredible capability from a technical perspective. They've got a lot of resources, they can scale, they've got clear motivation, and they're actively engaged in a 24/7 threat to the U.S. democracy and democracies abroad. There are more than 40 big democratic elections around the world: India, Mexico, South Africa, Taiwan, among others. And these nations want to disrupt democracies, not just in the U.S., although that's a major target.
Do any of you guys think that the people of the United States are divided? I mean, you got Democrats, Republicans, independents, this, that, and the other, moderates and liberals and all these different titles, because basically from what I've seen from you guys, you just want the truth, right? You just want the United States to feel safe again, right? But that's getting harder and harder as we become so involved with the wars and all of these different constraints and wars with different countries. I think I saw one comment the other day from a previous video, and correct me if I'm wrong if you happen to have written this comment, that literally said that they were tired of having the United States government come to the aid of everyone else besides the American people. Now, I just gotta ask you guys, do you agree with that? It's kind of like they're saying that the United States just keeps getting involved with all of these messes, but can't really seem to clean up any of the messes, certainly not at home, but not even the messes that they get themselves involved with overseas, which is exactly why these new threats of cyber attacks, they're extremely unsettling, given that, we don't seem to be in tip-top shape. Would any of you guys agree or even disagree? According to the United States and industry security officials, the Chinese military is now ramping up its efforts to disrupt our key infrastructure. This includes power, water utilities, as well as communications and transport systems. This really can't let you feel like all that safe, knowing that basically the lights in your house could get turned off at any point in time. The heat could go off in the middle of a 10-degree weather day. I mean, who knows? Communications could go down, 5G towers could be knocked out. The list goes on. Now, think about that for a second, right? And just imagine the kind of chaos that we would be seeing if any one of these systems were to be hacked, right? I mean, just communications alone would throw us off, because what are we using right now, right? We're using these social media apps. These websites, just like YouTube, would probably be brought to a complete stop. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, name your favorite, it could be taken down. That would be a massive problem at a minimum for society, but forget about credit card processing and ability to pay for stuff, because everybody pays with credit cards or Venmo. Like, everything could be theoretically be taken down. Nobody's using cash anymore for the most part. Now, would you believe that within the last year alone, hackers that are affiliated with China's People Liberation Army have gotten into the systems of at least 24 critical entities right here in our country? That's a lot, guys. That is a lot. And as you guys might know, I've informed you guys. We've talked about this some time ago, when we saw the water utility in Hawaii, a major West Coast port, and at least one oil and gas pipeline. All of them were affected by cyber attacks. Now, some people were asking, were cyber attacks in any way affiliated affiliated with the Hawaii Lahaina Islands wildfire that took place? Well, I don't see any evidence of that. But the same hackers even tried to get into the operator of Texas's power grid because it operates independently from electric systems in the rest of the United States. It's a huge problem just waiting to happen. US officials, though, they have said that these attacks haven't done anything to damage our infrastructure or even affect our lives. Really? US officials are saying this? However, it's still kind of hard to believe that they've managed to thwart these attacks when one of the water utilities that was hacked had a 11111 as its password. Like literally like 4 ones. I think I might have said 5 ones. But anyway, whatever the case is, do you think that that's secure? Like our whole water infrastructure was protected by a very simple 4-character string of ones as the password? Like my 5-year-old nephew has a stronger password on his little tablet. It doesn't make any sense. Now, some experts believe that we should ultimately be bracing ourselves for even more attacks, especially with the most recent leadership change taking place in Taiwan. China says that, it was one of 2 choices. Either they basically, peacefully unite with Taiwan, or things ultimately go sour and they probably go into a war. Taiwan's new president is the latter option for China, given that, he's not in favor of unifying with them anytime soon. So I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest with you. But to be honest with you, this also kind of puts a target on the United States, as President Joe Biden has been basically very outspoken about their support for Taiwan, and of course, how he's willing to put the boots on the ground if an invasion does happen. Now, to make matters worse, and believe me guys, even I thought that things couldn't really escalate this quickly, but China has sent around 4 military vessels near Taiwan just within a 24-hour period after their elections, right? Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, Ron, why exactly should we really care? I mean, it's way over there, over in Taiwan, ain't nobody bothering us, right? Well, China wants to take over Taiwan. That shouldn't affect us directly, right? But does it? I think it does. You see, a war in Taiwan means a war against the United States. Now, if you think about it, the strongest ally of Taiwan is the United States. So what's China going to do? Well, they're not going to attack us head on. I don't think that they're going to do that. I really don't. What will they do, right? I think China attacking the United States head on is probably the wrong move. So instead, just like they've been kind of doing this past year, they're probably going to attack our infrastructure. Just a guess. Only time will tell. Now, you see where this is going, right? So it doesn't matter where you live in this country. The simple fact of the matter is that they're going to need chaos over here so that our officials are kind of scrambled and sidetracked and busy doing something else. This then prevents us from defending Taiwan, since we ourselves would be theoretically under attack. Now, not militarily, but through different online systems. Now, it makes you think as if China has the advantage, right? I mean, some experts actually believe that it goes way deeper than just the cyber attacks. Threats of physical attacks to infrastructure, they're also being gauged, given that the number of Chinese nationals that continue to enter through our borders keeps going up. Gotta wonder what's going on with that there, right? Now, you would think that we would tighten up the borders if that was a genuine concern. Now, we're not saying that, all of these people mean harm to us. That is not what I'm saying, right? But it's no secret that we've seen hundreds of people come through the borders that are a part of a terrorist watch list. And check this out, guys. Some hackers, they have tried to steal employee information and credentials that they could use to enter into different systems while disguised as normal users. Now, the fear is that they're already lying in wait, whether it be through online or actual people that are already here in the country. Question now is, should we prepare? It's completely up to you, but it's something that, has to be considered given the situation that we're all in. It's not like, China's the only country that's got it out for us, right? I mean, the United States, we've done a very good job of, establishing a lot of enemies. So, I mean, we're living in a piece of history right now where the United States is just basically trying to pick a fight with everybody. I mean, just to be clear, you and I, the American people, we're not trying to pick a fight or anything like that, right? I just kind of thought I would just try to clarify that. But it's just weird predicament that the United States is in. And, I think we really need to work on our geopolitical politics, if that makes any sense. So, but anyway, what are you guys' thoughts on all of this? And do you take these threats seriously to a point where you actually prepare yourself and your household as well? I'd love to know what you guys are trying to do, what you guys are actually doing to prepare yourselves. Let me know what you guys are planning to do in the comments down below. I always love hearing from you guys. I look forward to seeing what you guys have to say. If you haven't already, do like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Take care and be safe.